Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Speed Gaming 3. Tonight, we are bringing you another matchup from the Final Fantasy V Career Day Tournament. This is the Standard Flags Tournament, and oh boy, do we have a treat for you. This is the lower bracket final. We have Alastair versus Judgejoe in an elimination match. The loser will unfortunately be eliminated in third place. The winner will go up to the main bracket, to the grand final, to play Fiery Blizzard. How's everybody doing out there in Chatland? INZman050778, and with me tonight in the commentators booth is Dryzalizer. Dry is currently getting our racers ready to go. We'll be going right on time here. So let me just kind of give you a little brief introduction as to how we kind of got here, and then as the match kind of starts, we'll kind of discuss some of the flags and everything. So to kind of give you just an idea here of their path to, this lower bracket final here. Alastair started out by beating Tade and then actually knocking Judgejoe down to the losers bracket. We're going to get into that in a minute. But Alastair then takes care of LQ Flurry and meets up in the upper bracket final with Fiery Blizzard, who knocks Alastair down into this bracket. So after being knocked down by Judgejoe, Judgejoe has been an absolute wrecking ball in the bottom bracket. I mean, he has just listen to these names he has taken out. He's taken out myself. He's taken out Lily. He's taken out my co-commentator, Dryzalizer, and he's taken out Heidi Karma. In the Final Fantasy V Career Day world, that is an impressive list. Judgejoe has been steadily improving as this tournament has gone on, and so has Alastair. This race is going to be fantastic, and we are going to go fast. I mean, I don't imagine this to take 2.5, 3 hours. I would imagine that the winning time is probably going to be anywhere between 2 and 2:15. This should be a really good, really fast matchup we have on our hands here. All right, so a lot of in chat asking how far into the game they go. The object of the game, right? You need to pick up the anti-barrier. You need to pick up the bracelet that gives you access to Exodus Castle in World 2. At the start of the game, our runners have access to World 1 and World 2. Okay? Once you get access to Exodus Castle, you beat Exodus at the top of his castle to access World 3. You then need all 4 tablets to enter the Void and beat Exodus and Neo Exodus in the Void. It is 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so I would imagine that my co-commentator, Dryzalizer, has dropped the hammer on this race. Dry, how are you doing tonight, my friend? You looking forward to this?
Yes, I am, Z-Man. First of all, I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you just fine, my friend.
Okay, my machine was giving me that silly notice, but I was pretty sure that I was live. Yeah, I have dropped the gate on the race. I expect the racers to begin any second. It's just a stream delay that we're waiting for. And yeah, this is going to be a great race. Alastair has the experience. Judgejoe is the hot young newcomer. And yeah, let's see what's here in Tycoon Castle for loot.
Ooh, we have a white mage starting job. So damage, not necessarily going to be plentiful with a white mage. But if we find the white spell, okay, damage. But the really nice thing about having the white mage is maybe we find the holy spell and X-Death becomes a joke. That would be fantastic because X-Death in his castle is weak to holy. 4 white mages with holy will absolutely obliterate X-Death, but right now damage is going to be kind of hard to come by, even though we just found Fire 3 black magic and Haste 2 time magic up in one of the Tycoon towers.
That's a really amazing tower to have those 2. There's only 2 treasures over there, and they were both potentially really good. Of course, like you said, White Mage can't necessarily use either of them, at least not yet. But I would hope that maybe if we get access to Kuza Castle, there's a decent chance of getting Holy in there, or maybe, Black 5 or Time 5, which would allow us to use those spells. Shrine Page World 1 is our first hint from the Chancellor.
Yep, and something about this flag set that we are playing here. There are 5 hints in each world. There's a certain subset of hints available, and we'll kind of get into that as we go. But there are 15 total hints, 5 in each world, and some will be a specific hint as to something is located someplace else. As it's the shrine page somewhere in World 1.
Yeah, and on this flag set, the shrine has a little more value than in previous flag sets because it has 2 trap chests, and certain trap chests in this flag set can have key items. So shrine's chance of being required has increased. So there's a decent chance of something important there.
Yep. And for those of you who might be just kind of joining the randomizer for the first time here, given the high stakes of this match, the shrine page opens the island shrine in World 3. Oh, gold hairpin. That's a really nice early find here in the Pirate's Cave.
Looking good for mages here, and also maybe for like Mystic Knight, because we've got some powerful elemental spell blades so far. Of course, we still only have that white mage job. We're probably going to be looking for a job here in Tooltown, the first town.
A job or a nice ability. I mean, okay, there's Sing, which is a nice ability. Not great right now, though, for damage. What are we looking like damage abilities here? What would really be welcome to see? Dragon Sword would be really nice to see. That would help take care of some early game location. Throw would be nice to see because throwing fire skeins is based on, or elemental skeins is based on magic stat. So throwing some of the elemental skeins could do high amount of damage. We find Cure 3 here in the Tool Beginner Shack.
Yeah, White Mage with Cure 3, they go very well together. That's something we can actually use if we need some serious healing. And even with our wimpy little staves, we can at least beat a goblin and get the adamantite, which is technically a key item.
Yep, the adamantite opening 2 sky checks, right? The Soul Cannon location and the Archeo Avis location. So, given what I'm seeing here, I might actually go into World 2 sooner rather than later and try to find a consistent source of damage to try to take out whatever's at the top of the Air Shrine, which is Wind Shrine, which is usually the first boss location. Oh, look, Berserk and Comet, which, Berserk helps damage. Comet really helps damage. Mute Sword, great for whenever Omniscient shows up. But I would probably go into World 2, hope for a job crystal, like maybe go to Hiryu Valley and check some of the higher ranked chests up there.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy, Z-Man. We need to get some loot. Cave areas have nothing of value. Okay, that eliminates a few checks. That means... I should write as I try and type and talk at the same time. It doesn't work. But that's Tool Pass is a cave. World 3 Odin Spot is a cave because you go through a cave to access it. Trying to think if there's any other caves I'm forgetting. Oh, the Moogle Waterway in World 2 is also a cave. So these are places that we can skip.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, now there's an interest. So there's a couple of interesting finds there that you probably want to take note of for later. What do we see there? We saw the rainbow dress, which is great if we get the dance ability or a dancer crystal, and javelins, which is great if we get the throw ability.
I also saw some more scrolls. Tents are always nice. What you were mentioning before, maybe going to Hiryu Valley to get loot. Because our runners are going to see a lot of things that they like. It looks like Alastair is stopping to write down where the Phoenix Downs are located, because that's very important for pretty much any party to have a decent number of those. But we're going to run out of money soon if we buy too much.
Yeah, and that is something, that is kind of something that we've kind of gotten accustomed to here with the ranking, with the chest ranking system. Aerial areas hold no value. Well, that's interesting.
That adamantite that we got is not very helpful.
Adamantite, completely useless, because both of those checks are aerial in nature, so they're not going to have anything. But the one thing that we've kind of okay, there's 10,000 gil, but really this has been a gold-starved start.
Yeah, and we need to buy a job that has some power to it, and jobs are not cheap. So, I mean, we could technically find a job, but I think it's more likely that we'll see a job in one of the early towns and try and buy it.
I mean,
and a good job costs 10 grand or
right?
more.
I would be happy with a good ability right now,
Sure.
and then hope at some point you find a better job. But you know, I would just be happy for a good ability to at least make some progress. Maybe open up that Kuza Castle. You know, maybe you get lucky and there's a tablet somewhere early in World 1 that you can do with, you know, with this 4 white mage party with a halfway decent ability.
Yeah, these white mages, we just picked up an ice rod. White mages cannot equip rods, and so they can't break rods, and so they can't get a cheap, easy win at the start. They really do need an ability like you mentioned up early on. Oh, let me see this hint here. Big Bridge has Trench Page. Okay. Writing this down.
Okay. There's nothing saying that the trench page is actually good. Like there might be nothing in the trench. Well, I mean, obviously, not obviously. So there are 3 hints in the trench which can come into wonderful play later on. But beyond that, we don't know if it's actually going to be useful for anything.
Trench may or may not have value, so we don't have a whole lot of direction yet. We know where not to go more than we know where to go. Judgejoe picking up a bunch of antidotes, which is a very important mix ingredient. I see equipped swords. Well, you could put equipped swords on a white mage and have that Excalibur.
Yep. So Tycoon Meteor is Path to the Void. That's fantastic.
Very nice. That's a spot that we always check early anyways.
So on Judgejoe's side, we have Dance and we have equipped swords. And on Alastair's side, we found Dragon Sword.
Nice. That is a great find for Alastair.
And again, Dragon Sword is a Mage Mashers. Now, our white mages can equip Mage Mashers, so, you know, maybe if we have an early Omniscient, those Mage Mashers could come in handy.
White mages cannot hold knives. They're like pacifists or something. So Mage Masher is off the table.
I'm getting
for
confused with. Wait, was that what Excalibur?
Yeah, I mentioned it before. I don't know how we got it, but I saw it in Joe's inventory, and I was like, okay, equip swords with Excal on your white mage. A different way of doing holy damage.
How did we not see where that got picked up?
Don't know. Did anyone in chat see where Joe picked up that Excalibur? And maybe both racers have it. I know it wasn't in the tool chest. It wasn't at the Moore Castle, either or Chicken Knife Brave Blade spot, but I don't think it was in Pirate Cave. I guess it could have been in Pirate Cave because I didn't actually see what the Sildren's
I wonder if
was.
maybe it was in Surgate somewhere.
It could have been in Surgate. There's only a couple chests there, but it could have been one of them, I guess. One of them was money. I remember that. But because Joe now has power, he's going into the Wind Shrine, and we'll hope to take out this boss here. We hope that this is not a Holy Absorb boss, of which there are a decent number. 220 is not quite enough to beat Leviathan. Need 30 more damage somehow. Another turn if Ferris can stay standing to do it. Oh, look at that. We got a Sword Dance Flail hit. Galeth, and Leviathan goes down. Nice to get Leviathan out of the way early. Can be a difficult boss later in the siege.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even though one of his characters is down, that's a really nice. Oh, and there we go, second tablet.
Oh my gosh! So to fix a typo in my notes here, but immediately can now go to Kuza Castle if you want and look for that holy spell or some other useful ability.
Some useful things certainly from the air crystal. Nothing fantastic, but useful things. All right, we saw a double lance. Oh, black level 4 from the wolves in. Oh,
Fourth tablet is in World 1. We may want to try and clear a bunch of World 1 checks just looking for that.
so we also have a hint that Tycoon Meteor is Path to the Void.
Right, that could be it. That could be those two things. Those two hints could be referring to the same thing.
I mean, I just saw Equipped Katana on Alastair's side. I mean, that is one of my personal favorites to buy as soon as I see it. You equip Katanas, you find a Masamune, and you have an instant source of haste whenever you want it.
That was a repeat on the hint from Rugor Town. We've already seen that one. Alastair is raiding Money Mountain, also known as Hear You Valley. Looking for some good loot. Might end up checking the boss at the end of it, although I don't expect that Alastair has the power to defeat the boss. Life 2. Nice
Life
when you
2.
have White Mage.
That's fantastic with the Life Mage. Summon level 5. Hello.
That is a great thing to find.
Flareback Bahamut Esper Magic.
With that summon 5.
Magic Sword level 6 is nice. Black level 6 goes great with that flare.
Yeah. And we have X-Fight, which White Mages don't like too much, but maybe a more physical job would like.
Oh, and an Assassin's Dagger? And a Ragnar? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I think right now you take Summon 5, you take... okay, so he's going to take Ragnarok with the Equipped Swords ability. I would imagine you take Summon level 5 and Bahamut for the AoE.
Yeah, but Joe is going Black 6 instead. We already have some pretty good Black Magic spells.
That's true.
Bahamut is a little slow, but Joe does take Summon 5, just doesn't have any summons to use with it yet. I like this because if you put Black 6 on your White Mage, you can't boost the elemental spells with a rod or anything, but you still have some nice damage output. I think he's got at least 2... I think we've got at least 2 strongest elemental spells already, just from early looting.
Yeah.
Unless I'm getting them confused with strongest spell blades, which I might be, but I'm pretty sure we've got it.
I know.
At the very least, one strong black spell.
I think we have Fire 3 Magic, and I think we have Ice 3 Sword. I think.
And I think we have one more of one of those things as well.
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, because Joe will be using that stuff to good advantage. So we actually, even though we've got all White Mages here, when you put Equipped Swords on your White Mage, you inherit Knight Strength. So basically, you'll be swinging just as hard as a Knight with that Excalibur. So we've got some physical damage, and then we've got magical damage as well. And hopefully we do have Fire 3 for Byblos, who is to fire, and there it is. This could be a one-shot right here, even at such a low level.
Ooh, yeah, a little short.
One more will do the trick, though. Oh, look at that. Using Bolt 2 against Leviathan, hitting on that weakness as well is Alastair. And both bosses go down, but Byblos likes to talk for a while when he dies, so we'll have to wait for that to finish.
Alastair picking up his tablet 2, and we're still waiting for Byblos to die. Joe's like, I'm going to rearrange my inventory while he's talking.
Well, that's a very smart thing to do. I haven't really looked into doing that. But it's one of those things that the free enterprise people carry over. A little extra efficiency there if you can do that. Oh my gosh, you were right. That's the first tablet at Tycoon.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe you consider running back immediately for Bahamut. Probably Magic Sword level. Do you do Magic Sword level 6?
I don't have a inherent sort of sword wielding job yet, but it's a hard decision. And in fact, I think Joe is going to put off that decision a little longer. Get another job first, maybe, and then see what you can do with it.
Yeah, we don't have a knife wielding job, so we can't use that Assassin's Dagger we found.
Right, and not yet. That's the thing, right? We haven't even looked at bunch of shops yet or anything. Oh, another enemy that we can use Fire 3 against.
Yep, and this is
his undead.
Yep.
What would I call them? They're his attackers.
Hunter Crystal on Alastair's side.
Decides to buy it. Golem is now in Judgejoe's possession, so someone can put on Summon 5. Oh my gosh, that's another tablet. I've never seen a seed open this fast in terms of tablet luck.
All I want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom.
Okay, well, in this case, you could go back to the castle and just grab everything good because you've got 3 tablets.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely nuts, this start. And as Lily and as Lily in chat points out, now they have access to the Golem, so Summon 5 is a fantastic find.
Yeah, you are going to go back to Kuza and pick up Bahamut and Phoenix and anything else, and the magic sword stuff, because, you know, it's the last trip to Kuza when you've got 3 tablets already.
Archaeoavis.
Yeah. Gonna be slow.
Yep. For those of you that might be familiar with the free Enterprise rando, I very much equate this fight to the Bull Gauntlet, because Archaeoavis has 5 forms. You have to kill each form. The Bull Gauntlet has 5 fights. You have to kill each fight. So very similar kind of idea here. And they're a pain in the butt wherever they want to go.
Yeah, see, this last form is actually immune to most of the elements, and so the Bolt 2 did nothing, but not immune to Holy, so that Excalibur from Lena, smacking it, took care of things.
Yep. Alastair right behind, taking care of the Archaeoavis. Hey, finally, our first real Zonk!
Without a key item. Yeah, but this has just been an amazing seed so far. We need to basically look for more hints to sort of give us some direction as to where that last tablet might be, and then just do might as well just do the standard experience gaining checks along the way here, and then we do have some hints about where we don't need to go, which is no aerial areas and no caves.
Although we might still see our runners do an aerial area, right? We might see our runners do the catapult in order to open up the Lanka Meteor, which still could be something, because the Lanka Meteor is a meteor. Even though it is gated by something aerial, that does not mean that the Lanka Meteor has nothing.
That's a very good point. And I just saw Dancer Crystal and Yoichi Bow.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, well now you've got a knife, or in this case, sword-wielding Dancer, so you can equip swords on that Dancer.
Yep, and with the rainbow dress also. So Joe did pick up a rainbow dress. So this is gonna hurt. A sword dance with the Ragnarok is gonna hurt.
Yeah, Ragnarok or Excalibur, take your pick, or do both. On the other side, Alastair is going to enjoy that Yoichi Bow perhaps even more, because we know that Alastair has Hunter. Oh, and it turns out, though, the Ouroboros, I think that was a targeting error on Joe's part. You're supposed to multi-target the Poros, and now they're going to give him some trouble.
Not too bad here, because they actually can't cast Life 2.
Oh, good point. Good point. So, yeah, just a little mistake there, but nothing major. And even though Alastair doesn't have the power that Joe has, another Bolt 2 should probably finish them off, because these divide the total hit points of the area by 6, so individually they don't have much HP at all. Ooh, radar. Very nice. Mirage radar at the ship graveyard.
Yet another, so it's a key item, and it is a high-value key item. Because Mirage Radar has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shops with top-tier items. So, just now I'm thinking, Yeah, as this battle was wearing on, I'm like, all right, we got 3 tablets. This is going to be a Zoom seed. How the holy heck can you kill X Death? Well, right now we had nothing, but Mirage Raider is going to have a way to kill X Death.
Yeah, there's just so much good shopping there that you just shop those, hit those shops before going into the void, and then you're probably going to have a method to win at the end. We don't know exactly what that method will be, but I'm sure our racers will figure out a way.
So we have Alastair checking our Carwin and Judgejoe checking out walls. It would not surprise me at all to see Alastair pick up that Berserk ability that we saw in walls. I know Alastair does like the so-called Berserker strats where you put the Berserk ability on a hunter with a good bow, and the Yoichi bow with Berserk is absolutely fantastic.
Got another hint coming up here. Bal Castle, Path of the Void. Well, we might as well chase that. We know that it's World 2 Bal Castle too, because World 3 is a cave, and it can't be a cave, so really useful hint there from Walls Castle.
So we know the World 2 Bal Castle check has something. And at this point, I'm guessing it's either the anti-barrier or the bracelet or something that leads directly to it.
Yeah, we need to mention to people who might not be familiar that even though Joe has 3 tablets and Alastair will soon have 3 tablets, there are other key items that gate progression in these seeds, and those are the anti-barrier and the bracelet. The anti-barrier allows you to go into Exdeath Castle, and the bracelet allows you to go upstairs in Exdeath Castle. So you can't really progress beyond Exdeath Castle until you get those 2 key items. And of course, they're both located in either World 1 or World 2. The World 2 Bal Castle Gate check, we now know has probably one of those 2 key items. Oh, there's another great bow, the Artemis bow in Walls Castle.
A bit of a route to origins here. We have Alastair taking on North Mountain check 1. Judgejoe not even hesitating and going straight to Bal Castle. Don't blame him whatsoever. He certainly has the power to take this down.
Okay, nothing up on North Mountain, but yeah, Joe headed straight to the key location. What is the boss here? 2,500 hit points. This is actually the lowest hit points of any check in World 2, so you really like to see this as being required because it's nice and easy, and that was a nice and easy sword dance one-shot. A really good experience here for the team as well, being a later location, and there's the bracelet for Judgejoe.
We have Alastair turning in his first tablet here, finding all the wonderful goodies.
Joe's gone back to do some World 2 shopping. I think he was here before already, just has come back to finish that off now that he has a little more money. Alastair having to make the difficult decision because he only has 1 tablet as to what to take out of Sealed Castle here.
Thanks, game. Mirage Radar is present in World 1, you think?
Yeah, we don't enjoy finding hints that we already knew about, but that's what happens. The more you do in the seed, the lower the chance that the hints will be useful, but sometimes you just need that one key hint, and it's worth taking the time to go and get it, and then it gives you, some direction when you've had none before.
So Alastair doing a little bit of a different tack here. I saw Black level 6 he took, and I saw X Fight. I'm not sure if he took Ragnarok or Summon 5 after that. I'm not sure. We'll find out in a minute. Oh, look at that. The Mind Blast gets reflected.
Too bad. I like to learn that. Oh, but no, that's nice because everyone gets to stay standing and Apocalypse goes down, so everybody gets the experience there. I took Flare. Okay, makes sense.
That makes sense. Alastair going into Bale Castle. Going to pick up his bracelet. Lily mentioning that Mind Blast was somewhere in the Wind Shrine. Okay.
Really? I didn't notice that.
No, I don't either.
Cool. Well, in that case, very good that it reflected back onto Apocalypse, and he's gone down. I like this Karnak shopping. Sometimes there's a job in this town. Ooh, X-Fight Hunter. There you go. That's a one. That's a way to do some damage. Hope for those Yoichi crits.
Yep. Judgejoe was picked up equipped bows, which I really like.
Definitely, that gives a strength and agility boost to most jobs. Not too many jobs are faster or stronger than Hunter, so pretty nice.
So, Fiery in chat mentioning that there was apparently in previous iterations a bug where a tier 6 treasure could drop on top of the key item drop in tool. And apparently that's probably what happened with the Excalibur. Excalibur dropped along with Adamantite off the chest and tool.
Really? Is that what happened?
Well, okay, so every once in a while in my practice leads leading up to this tournament, for me it wasn't Excalibur. I would every once in a while find a random assassin's dagger that was in my inventory that I didn't remember picking up.
Yeah, I have also found items in my inventory that I was pretty sure that I never actually picked up. It's pretty rare, but it did occasionally happen. I thought that was sort of something that was maybe only happened when I was testing new updates and stuff, but it's possible that something slipped through, and that can still happen. But well, for our racers, I think that they will make it. I mean, they both have the same advantage. It's not like it affected one person or the other. So you take what the seed gives you, even if you didn't see that it gave it to you. It's in your inventory. You make use of it.
And we have Greg 2 with the catapult. Yay.
1,000 hit points here, and I think 5364 is enough to one-shot him. I
knew
that the catapult wasn't going to have a key item, but it does unlock that Lonka meteor, as mentioned before, so... Yeah, Greg 2 does not buff up if you completely one-shot all of his hit points, I don't think. Well, it depends, actually. Like, if you weaken him, sometimes he will buff, and then he will jump, and then he will die on the landing. But this overkill was so great that for whatever reason he did not.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's an overkill that you have to do, not just a regular kill.
Judgejoe accidentally went up in the air. I think that was just a menuing error because the up arrow was like selected by default or something. So he knows not to go up in the air for this seed because aerial areas are barren. Instead, he wanted to land and go to Lonka Meteor right here, which is what he's doing.
All right, let's see if this Lonka Meteor plays out here for Judgejoe. Halicarnassus, you like seeing Halicarnassus nice and early.
Yep, we do have some maiden kisses if we need to use them. Always nice to buy those early just for this fight and other fights where you might be turned into a toad. But this fight in particular is pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be toaded unless you have like ribbon protection from it or something.
Now, I have to say, Judgejoe is getting some fantastic sword dance RNG so far in this seed.
Yeah, it's 50-50, but for him it has looked like 100%.
Hey, 50-50 turning into 100%? That sounds like Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
speaking of good luck, the Lanka Meteor has the anti-barrier, so we have go mode into Exodus Castle.
So we are one key item away from go mode. 30 minutes into this.
That's right. Now, and we do have Excalibur for good damage against X-Death. We don't have the Holy Spell, but we have a Holy Sword. I would probably, if I were Joe and I can't see what's happening on his screen at the moment, not sure what's going on over there.
Kind of looks like a freeze on his part.
Yeah, maybe so. But you probably want to hit another sort of quick and easy spot if you can for experience. The meteors are all taken care of. We don't necessarily want to go to the Moogle Waterway because that's barren and we already know it. And he's done most of the early World 1 clears, so there's actually not that many great options left. Let's see what we got for... Yeah, for key items, nothing either. Oh, he did go to the library, it looks like, and we missed what was there. Well, chances are it wasn't a key item, but you never know. Yeah, there's a hint in the library, too, from Guido that we also missed. We're going to have to see if Alastair goes there and maybe catch it that way. It's possible that Z-Man might be able to do a clip and look back or something, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out. We'll see. Joe getting a hint about the 4th tablet, which he already has. Not a useful hint. You definitely want to clean up on your hints, gather them all up, make sure that you're ready before you go into Exodus Castle. Judgejoe actually going to Hear You Valley. So this is there's definitely good loot here if you're looking for power, which Joe probably is. It's a good spot to go, and he'll probably check the boss too, because he needs experience. The boss check spot does have fairly high hit points, but so do the checks that are coming up for us anyways. So this is a good place to go to check whether you've got the power to take out decently strong enemies or not. Meanwhile, Alastair fighting Byblos, looking for something... Artemis, yes, because Byblos is a beast. The Artemis will always crit beasts, and since we're X-fighting, that is 4 912 damage arrows, and that will take care of Byblos in one attack. Good use of the 2 bows there, switching off to Artemis. Usually you keep Yoichi equipped, and then when there's beast bosses that show up, you switch to Artemis. So well done there by Alastair.
We are going to see Joe save here before pulling the Hear You Valley boss.
And there's the first tablet for Alastair. So now both racers have 3 tablets. I expect Alastair may go to the Kuza fairly soon. Okay, we've got Liquid Flame here, but do we have a good method to it? Well, we can do pure damage by sword dancing. That's always good. We've got Ice 2, which hurts it nicely. We're going to have to go damage here, though, because we don't have any instant kill options for this particular boss.
And that wall ring biting Judgejoe in the butt.
Not too badly, though, because luckily when you multi-target the team, only counts one portion of the Cure 3 over to the boss. So I think it did like 700 healing. It's not too bad when you can do over 5,000 in a single sword dance.
Judgejoe still landing those sword dances left and right.
One thing that Liquid Flame will make you do is heal, though, because of his counters. But Judgejoe got through that really nicely with those powerful sword dances. Never missing. And there's a Moogle suit, which is a nice thing to see. More power.
So the Moogle suit is nerfed. The chest in the Moogle suit suit are nerfed a little bit in this version, so it's not necessarily completely, totally, utterly game breaking like it used to be. But it can be. So we'll see what happens here with these 7 checks here in the Moogle village.
Yeah, I mean, there's usually at least one really good thing here, and sometimes more. So we're about to get 7 things pretty quickly. NG armor is, okay. Money. Flare sword, not bad. Wall ring, kind of useful if we get in a bind, but yeah, not that great. I think flare sword was probably the best thing because we might have magic sword 6 to go with that.
Yeah, I would kind of expect Judgejoe soon to go turn in those last 2 tablets and get, like right now, turn in these last 2 tablets and go pick up a bunch of stuff.
Yes, Alastair has actually turned in all the tablets already, and so basically got everything. We've gotten everything out of Kuza that we're gonna get in this seed, and pretty soon both racers will never go back there again.
Yep. So this is going to be. I would imagine Judgejoe is now going to head to Excess Castle because he's got the ability to pretty much take out anything in that castle right now.
Probably so. The only thing you worry about is some of the high hit point totals in there, but when it's a seed like this, number 1, there's good loot in the castle. Number 2, you just gotta go for it. If you run into a wall or something, you can actually just skip past it, because we're pretty sure we can probably take out X-Death with an Excalibur. And then maybe come back later if you need to finish off the castle if you don't have any good hints as to where that last tablet is. But we're going to get 2 more hints in Mirage, so...
I think we have Judgejoe a little undecided on what to pick. Eventually does pick up that Assassins. I mean, to me, that's... if you always kind of pick up an assassin when you can, just in the off chance that Minotauros hits some sort of stupid high HP spot and you find the throw ability, because if you throw an assassin's dagger at Minotauros dies.
Yeah, it's a great way to very quickly kill what can be an extremely rude boss depending on location. Blocking all... Oh, Solitary Island holds the Hear You Call. I actually didn't see that hint before, so... we don't know for sure if that's important, but it's... we've gotten 2 hints about the shrine. Solitary Island Shrine, I should say. That is correct, Lily. Minnow skips his holy counter if you throw the assassin dagger at him, unless you kill him outright with damage on that assassin dagger throw. Then the damage kill does take priority. So you want to make sure he's got enough hit points that assassin doesn't kill him with Ancient Library's Steamship Key. Well, that's interesting.
Yep, and okay, so that's the hint that we missed when Judgejoe kind of blipped out. All right, so we're going to have Alastair go run and check that immediately.
Is it possible that Joe has the steamship key? I think that if he had gotten it, he would have gone there. So I think he does not have it. Yeah, because we would have done that to get loot and levels and power before going to X-Death Castle. So we're expecting something else, or just a womp here at the first library check. Yeah, the last finals, Freddy did kill Minnow with the assassin dagger, but after Minnow was already so weak that the damage was what killed him, and Minnow still used Holy, and kept bouncing it off of Freddy's 2 all-ring users and healing himself. It was a real comedy of errors in the Minnow fight. Very entertaining for everyone viewing, that's for sure. Okay, Judgejoe has gotten through the basement of X-Death Castle. There was not a key item there. But that is more levels, more experience, more power. We hope to sort of power up as we work our way up through Excess Castle here.
Yeah, and we're also going to loot our way up through Excess Castle because it usually has some pretty solid loot.
Okay, level 3 Flare was a nice reward from defeating that library boss, Timmy. Timmy the Turtle, giving us a turtle shell. Nice to have.
And now we do know that the steamship key is hidden behind Ifrit's fire.
Yeah, it might be a while before we can go there, but you know, there's so many checks at the Karnak Escape, we might have to go there. Who knows?
And it does look like we are going to get Alastair to do the catapult into Lanka meteor check.
You're expecting that next. That is in this area. Did you do catapult already? No. Okay, doing it now. Yep. All right. Yeah, that is sort of the meta of the seed is do your meteors early because they're pretty easy and they give good experience for World 1. So might as well do that. Oh, 1 hit point because we've been walking through the lava. This abductor has 5,000 hit points, so we need a sword dance here. Or an instant kill, which we do not have. We do have the ability black 5 or 6, but break is black 4, and we have not found the break spell. There's a sword dance for you. Joe with life 2 and cure 3 can get everybody up to full again really easily. And misses again. This roulette room is not easy.
It can certainly be a pain if you miss it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you're playing with no pressure, you hit it fine every time. But then when you're in a race, nerves, if you're just a little bit off on your timing because of nerves or something, sometimes you miss it a few times.
All that for a Venom
goes through. Yep. Those fights gave some experience. At least the first one did. So if nothing else, maybe we got a level or close to a level out of it.
And so if Alastair goes to check the Wonka meteor, Alastair will pick up his anti-barrier. I couldn't remember which one. Was it the anti-barrier or the bracelet? Anti-barrier.
Ooh, Dispel spell given by the Black Chocobo. I don't think Joe necessarily did that check, so with having white mages and the ability to cast Dispel, that can be pretty handy against a few bosses.
Yes, the Omniscient is the number one I think of when it comes to Dispel, because Omniscient can be dispelled, and Omniscient does start the fight with a shell status that can be dispelled away, so you can actually do a bunch of damage with elemental spells to him once you dispel.
Yes, Timmy also starts with shell and armor status, which you can dispel away. I think both racers already defeated Timmy, but basically any boss that buffs itself up, you can remove that buff with the dispel spell. For example, a panda is actually a real pain in the butt. And I wouldn't be surprised if Joe had some trouble with a panda here, because Fire 3 is great against him for damage, but the counters can be really rude. Especially with a low hit point team like this, where your dancer gets one shot by a drain. And Joe, smartly in my opinion, has reset out of that fight and might just skip it for now. And hope that it's not required.
Yeah, I would check the carbuncle spot first, defeat that, and then maybe I would change to an all-white mage team with black, and then just obliterate them with a bunch of Fire 3s, and then just make sure you alternate with Cure 3 to mitigate against any damage.
Magissa here typically is a very easy boss because she's not heavy, but we don't actually have a good way to exploit that, so we may see some rare Forza footage here where she calls him in for help. We'll be able to take care of him, though, I think, because he can be put to sleep. And so then you can sword dance or you can magic him down. Oh, nice sword dance for the finish. Finishing blow on Machi, so we do not see Forza on Joe's side.
Well,
oh my gosh. Well. This go mode at 46 minutes, people. Fastest maybe I've ever seen. Defeat X-Death, go shopping, go into the void, and hope to find enough things to win for shopping and void looting. We are zooming away here.
Yeah, this is the earliest I have ever seen go mode. This is crazy.
Yeah, the fastest time, I mean, it's hard to compare different flag sets, but the fastest time is under an hour and a half, and we're only halfway there for completing an entire seed, I should say. And we are now on pace to beat that. Of course, we are going to need a lot of help to finish, but usually Mirage Village plus the Void does provide the help that you need to finish. So we'll see.
We do have Judgejoe playing next. By the way, I just did a little quick count here. Judgejoe has found nine key items in this seed. 6 of them have been go mode items.
Yeah. And the other one was a power item, which is the Moogle suit. Really nice to make your team stronger. And the other one is... Oh, the other one was a dud. The Adamantite. That's not something we need or are going to use. By the way, this fight against X-Death, it's not a gimme. We've got low hit points. We do have healing, but I noticed that Joe's wearing a couple of those wall rings. He might have even cast wall on somebody, I'm not sure. But we should be able to get through. It's not necessarily a guaranteed first try win, but should be able to get through.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for sword dance luck. This is the second 99.99 sword dance, and it's a little and it's a little unfortunate that Lena, who's equipped with the Excalibur, hasn't gotten a sword dance, because that'll easily do 7,000-8,000 damage.
I thought that Ferris must have had the Excal to hit for capped damage.
I thought that'd be Ragnarok. That's Excal animation.
Yeah, just because of the holy weakness, you get so much more damage. But X-Death should be about done. If we've gotten 3 of those already, he only has 32,768 hit points. So this flare might finish him off.
Care of it.
And Lily from chat telling me that Joe did cast wall, and if it was on Ferris, it was worth it because instead of dying, Ferris bounced a Bolt 3 back onto X-Death and helped him kill himself. So there you go. We are now in go mode. We don't have to do any World 3 checks. We are level 26, and it's time to go to Mirage Village. I'm a little worried, actually, about our gold total. Any idea how much? Because we might need to spend it all here.
Yeah, we're going to find out in a minute.
In Mirage Village, there was 25,000 gold, so that'll help. There's the ninja job, worth buying just because we have that assassin dagger. Black and blue mage jobs also available. My gosh.
So if you find wizard rods... black with wizard rods and a hero song, that'll give you endgame.
I was mentioning before that there are 2 more hints in Mirage, but there's not going to be any need for us to check those hints because we already have go mode. We don't care about any hints about things that we already know, or hints about things that aren't relevant, which is sometimes what you get.
There's Mix. There's
Ooh,
Mimic.
There's Mix and Mimic ability. Also Knight. We're down. We're getting a little low on money, but we do have things that we can sell here.
And also time level 5, which is huge because that opens up haste 2.
Yes, absolutely. So we can make the team fast. We can give the team max level, and we can even do even if we don't find wizard rods, we can do the elemental power mix and such to boost our fire 3. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Slash, probably worth buying. I don't know if Joe bought it.
So going to the weapon shop here. Revivifies are nice. Dragon Fangs are nice with Mix and Mimic.
Now we have Blue Mage with Dragon Fangs. You can set up some death by math stuff. We also have level 3 Flare that we found in the library. One thing I haven't seen yet is Big Guard, but if we could even just get the Shell spell, we could cast that with our White Mages.
There's Magic Lamp.
It's always nice to find. Alastair also gets through the Magisa Forza fight without, I think, seeing Forza at all, and gets that last tablet. So 4 tablets for both racers here.
Yeah, this is a pretty close race that we've got going on here.
See Aegis Shields? Yeah, I tend to buy 4 of those. Yeah. Because that'll block White Hole for you in the final fight. That Magic Lamp, Odin from the lamp, if you use the lamp 3 times, can kill the back part of Ned, eliminating one of the 4 parts for you instantly. Joe's selling some things because he's running a little bit low on cash, but has enough to buy everything that he wants. Now, this is the tough fight. This is a Panda on Alastair's side. The question is, how stubborn will Alastair be about trying to beat Panda? It does have the Artemis bow for crits with every hit, but a Panda's counters are going to be nasty.
I'm not sure why Alastair is even fighting this.
Levels, maybe? One experience maybe for finishing the game, because you haven't seen what's in Mirage yet. As long as you get lucky and a Panda doesn't do too many counters, it's a very winnable fight. Well, depending on your level, you can still get one-shot by some of Castle Excess attacks in the next fight. Speaking of one-shot by a single attack, Wind Slash from a Panda, not cool. Does Alastair try again at this fight, or does he say, I have go mode, let's just fight X-Death? I think he's gonna just fight X-Death, yeah.
Yeah, this certainly looks like an X-Death setup here.
Joe went into the void, but it looks like maybe he wasn't ready, and he might have done so accidentally. Maybe he's not quite done with preparations, or... I think he... Okay, so he exited the void by accident. I think that's what happened. If you press the A button when you're standing in front of the wheel, you will go back.
All right, we have Alastair pulling X-Death.
I expect Joe will continue to loot in the void because there's still plenty of good stuff that could help speed up the final fight, like the X-Magic ability. I'm keeping an eye out for things that Joe might find here. Summon 4, well, we already have Summon 5, so not that important. That Break Sword is actually something that you tend to find earlier than the void. I don't necessarily expect we'll find it in the void, but you never know. Because that makes Ned... Oh, Mimic Crystal is huge. That is huge. Wow, because you can go Mimic with Aegis Shields, you can have Mix, and then you can do whatever kind of damage you want, and you don't have to spend much MP because you just keep mimicking it. You can put Golem up. Really nice find there by Joe, setting himself up basically to win the final fight without too much trouble. And already having someone be a Mimic. Deciding, okay, yeah, Ragnarok is stronger than the Murasame. Murasame has a nice high crit rate, but it's not all that strong as a sword.
Yeah, it looks
Alastair
like
going for flare strats. Is somebody using? I think somebody's using a Excalibur.
yeah, I
right?
think he's got that hunter with the Excalibur.
Unfortunately, the hunter cannot X-fight and have Excalibur at the same time. Although I thought, oh no, I think the night job is in Mirage. It's so you can't have it yet. Oh, there's the holy spell.
There's
And
Medio.
there's Medio.
Oh,
And
there's
there's a
chicken
chicken
knife.
knife.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow. This is quite an amazing quite an amazing seed, I tell you. Lots of power here. And just
This is insane.
yeah, that doesn't mean that we can't hit a wall. Like, we haven't really talked about potential bosses that could throw a monkey wrench into this. I mean, a panda was kind of one of them, and both of our racers know that they can just skip it. We don't have a whole lot of insta-kill stuff going on. Like, Chimera Brain, normally you would instant kill because it's not heavy and it's weak to death and it's weak to stone. I'm not sure if we have any of that stuff. But we do have mix. You could mix up a death potion. Looks like Joe might be looking at Chimera Brain's level, wondering whether he can set up Dark Shock. But we don't have level 5 Doom or anything to follow it up with, so it would just be lowering its level to use like level 3 Flare or something later. Off the top of my head, I do not recall Chimera Brain's level.
And Alastair takes a death to X-Death, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned before, it's not a guaranteed first try victory with such low hit points. Like, you could just get unlucky and the double turns could do you in. But Alastair going in with no adjustments knows that this is a very winnable fight. You just have to give it another shot. And speaking of fights that aren't going too well, Chimera Brain here, I'm pretty sure Judgejoe has a Dark Matter, could just do the instant kill mix. And these Aqua Eggs and attacks and stuff are really hurting, so may need to rely on that. Instead is doing, you know, full resurrection mixes, which are nice, but a little bit slower, that's all.
Yeah, Chimera Brain can actually be a bit of a pain if you don't have the insta-kill abilities.
Sure. Especially, you know, this team has very low hit points. Any boss can be tough if we, you know, just because we have low hit points and we don't have a ton of tools or resources that are available to us. So it's possible that Joe could lose this fight here, and that would be an unfortunate time loss because this first check in the void is the one that takes the longest to reach. Oh wow, an Aegis Shield block saves Lena's life, and will she be able to win with this one last X-Fight? I'm not sure if we've done enough damage. No.
Yeah, I don't think Joe did that 20,000 hit points.
Right, so Joe, I'm fairly sure, was looking up some information about Chimera Brain. Should be able to come back, do the Death Potion mix. If not, might need to go and do a little World 1 or World 2 shopping. Look for something like Death Claw or Demi Spell or Quarter Spell or something like that where
he has the quarter
take a big
spell.
chunk. Oh, should have used it. Are you sure it wasn't level 4 quarter though?
No, I'm pretty sure they've got the Time Quarter spell.
Okay, well, that's another thing that Joe could take advantage of. But the thing is, it's not actually that common of a strategy to use because you usually have other things that are better, that actually, like, either kill the boss or take it down to single-digit HP. Quarter removes 7/8 of non-heavy bosses hit points, so it's really, really good. I do a couple of those, and the boss is basically dead. But it could be something because Joe is kind of new to the game and to the randomizer that he's not really aware of and hasn't really made use of because he's never needed to.
And we have Alastair still going up after X-Death here.
This is giving Joe, as he runs through the void again, retracing the same path, just gives him some time to think about how to best take on Chimera Brain. I think Joe will probably get through on the second try by one method or another.
So, to answer a question in chat, how long is the estimate run usually on this randomizer? So usually we would say between 2 and 2.5 hours. Usually. This is not a usual seed by any way, shape, or matter. This is one of the jettiest jet seeds we have seen in a long time. I mean, it's just ridiculous that and I think Master Mars kind of alludes to this. Our tracker is so just barren, but they have everything they need, so we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's only like two non-required items that are even lit up on the tracker. Everything else, sorry, 3, I guess, technically, but 2 of those things were, although not strictly required, were very helpful. The win condition is to defeat Tree X-Death and Neo X-Death, just like in vanilla.
I think the question is more, do they have a reasonable path to victory? And I would say, yeah, I think once Alastair does his shopping and raids the void like Joe is right now, I really do think that I think they've got several different ways to beat Ned and Ted coming up soon. Yeah, I think probably the one that's going to make the most sense is we picked up the Mimic Crystal here in the Void, so probably mimic a bunch of mixing, and either you summon Bahamut, you use Quick Time Magic and X Magic. They've got several different viable methods to kill Ned and Ted, even if it's not Mix and Giltos.
I would like to see a little bit of some sort of defense against Almagest in terms of shell or guard or something, just because if we're not fast enough with our kill, and Almagest could go off and it could wipe this team. If we have our 4 Aegis shields, there's a decent chance that somebody will block it, but then things get a little sketchy. Shiva actually kind of scary here in the void. This could be a tough one.
The good news is the Black Mages have access to Fire 3. So Fire 3 with a Golem shouldn't be terrible.
Yes, that's a really good point. By the way, Judgejoe did come back and use the Death Potion mix on Chimera Brain, so good checking that Chimera Brain is weak to instant death there.
We have Alastair kind of raiding through the Phantom Village here.
Yeah, Fiery put mentioning that we can just X-Magic single target the Almagest part and take it out early, use the lamp for the back, keep the end cross part locked down with Mind Blast, and we even have level 3 Flare to hit the front without manipulating its level at all if we want to. So yeah, I think we've got everything we need for Ned. The question is, if you're a racer, you're in the midst of this jet seed, your brain is going a million miles an hour, and you haven't probably even had time to think about the final fight yet. So it's just a question of who can sort of keep their composure and put together the team in such a way that you can win the final fight consistently and reliably.
Yeah, I think one of the things here that we're kind of seeing here with Judgejoe is his not putting summon on somebody, and summoning Golem has been, kind of hurting him here. Not even in the Shiva fight, but in the Chimera Brain fight earlier. He's just absorbing so much damage from these attackers that the Golem summon would really be coming in handy right about now.
Yeah, we definitely love Golem. I'm not sure. Somebody should have Summon 5. If they don't, then that's too good of an ability not to have on. The snowstorms do hurt, but Shiva alternates rows, so Joe actually has a nice setup here. One person in the front row, one on the back. Only one of them would get hit by a snowstorm in the upcoming turns, but there you go, Shiva down. I think Shiva's one of those bosses that doesn't have evasion, so swords actually hit her.
So Alastair going back into Surgate. Oh, picking up some cabins. Okay.
Yeah, definitely need to prepare before you head into the void. Even on sometimes, on a jet seed, you might actually need to do a little extra prep because all that's left is what's in the void.
So thinking about, in the void, something you desperately don't want to see in this void is Minotauros.
We have Ninja, though. We found Ninja in Mirage Village, and we can just reset out real quick and throw the Assassin Dagger at Minnow.
Oh, that's right. We found the Ninja. That's right, we found Ninja. I forgot about that.
That'll probably be the only time we ever use Ninja, is if we run into Minnow, but we have a way. Necro is just really annoying. I don't think we have any way to petrify his barriers, so we'll probably have to dance them down. Oh my gosh, we just got Big Guard. All right, so now we have the safety spell, and we can't die.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, we have Bahamut against Necro, so we can use that to take out the barriers, and he'll eventually get the job done. I'm trying to think of, Omniscient. I think we have Mute Spellblade, don't we? Mm-hmm. Speaking of Mute Spellblade, it would be good against this boss right here, Califasteri, who is a beast. So X-Fighting Artemis is good, Dancing is good. Fight anything, I'm pretty sure will not draw any of her nasty counters. Getting olded by her is a little bit unfortunate because it hurts our damage, but other than that, shouldn't be too tough as long as we get some decent sword dance luck.
Oh, swing and a miss from the Flare Sword. And I'm sure Fiery is very much laughing in his own way at this point.
Yeah, she doesn't even have much evasion. That's pretty unlucky. Now, she does do drain counters if you're using the fight command. She does bounce spells off of your team to buff herself, like she just hasted. So things can get a little bit hairy if this fight goes on too long, but I think we have the power to just sort of blast through it. And we can bounce our own spells off of ourselves. Her setting up Reflect on us is not necessarily the best strategy on her part.
All right, so now we have Alastair pulling Chimera Brain. Let's see if he has more success than Judgejoe did the first time.
This is another Artemis bow target, beast enemy. So that's 4,400 damage, but I think we have to do about 18,000 here, so healing is important. This is one of the few seeds you'll ever see where we don't have Shoat yet, and Shoat would instant kill this boss.
Yep, so Alastair using that chicken knife and those Artemis bows to great effect here in this battle, and Alastair goes down.
Nice fight there by Joe. I lost track of which position this was. I think it was the save point, so she had a fair amount of hit points there. Ooh, that Awk Rake is going to hurt a couple people. Only one person standing. Uh-oh. So Alastair having the same issues with the first Void boss that Judgejoe had, but Alastair is closer to winning. Might be able to get it. Oh, nope. Unless it blocks it with the Aegis. Blaze does too much.
Oh, well, this is no problem. Atmos here at the catastrophe spot.
Yeah, we can put Atmos to sleep, which is probably the best thing, and then just magic him down or sword dance him down. We do not have Death by Math as an option, because I don't think we have level 5 Doom, unfortunately. And Joe's going to use the Sleep Spellblade. For some reason, I thought we had the Sleep Spell, but whatever works.
Yep, well, as long as it works.
Yeah. With one person down, Atmos will not really do much except suck them in, and once Atmos is asleep, we can bring that person back up and then just do magical attacks. And Sword Dance counts as a magical attack. It does not wake up Atmos, so basically it's a free fight at that point. At this point, I should say. Yeah, Fiery mentioning in chat what the fastest time might be. I also do not remember the exact time. 124 sounds more correct to me than 121, but could be wrong. know we had a sub 130 by Strizer a long time ago using a slightly different flag set. I think that flag set actually gave one free tablet. This flag set, with the monster in the boxes, has been faster than I expected, actually.
I think Judgejoe, assuming Judgejoe keeps on keeping on, this is easily going to be the fastest time in the tournament and probably the fastest noted time for this particular flag set.
Yes, almost certainly so. I actually don't know off the top of my head what the fastest time for this flag set is either, but I imagine we've had somebody get in at least the 140 something range, if not even a little faster. Okay, so second try for Alastair, while Joe takes on Crayclaw. Again, another boss that is weak to death and shoat, but I'm not sure if we've got the mix ingredients. We're going to have to do this with damage, I think.
Yeah, because I think Joe only had the one dark matter. So I think... Oh, no, he's got the dark matter here. There we go. Dark matter.
By the way, Alastair's second try against Chimera Brain went very well because Slash ability instant killed it. In fact, I barely even saw that fight because it was over so quickly. I'm sorry, Z-Man, did you say that Joe does have another dark matter laying around? Okay, so we know that would be the fastest method, but maybe Joe feels he needs to save it because there is one more boss before the final one, right?
Yeah.
And Crayclaw's not really that threatening.
No.
Maybe it's just saving it for a more difficult boss. What I would probably do, though, if I was in Joe's shoes, is I would use the dark matter here, and then I would go to the next boss without saving. And then if I really needed that dark matter for the next boss, I would reset I would do this fight over again the hard way, and then dark matter the next boss. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's not as if this fight that Joe just did here was anything overly difficult.
Yeah, it wasn't too slow and it wasn't too difficult or anything. So Joe is still on a really good pace here. Should feel, I imagine, ahead. Although maybe both racers feel like they could be behind because they both did die to Chimera Brain once. Alastair against Shiva, as we mentioned before, this was a tight win for Joe. Let's see if Alastair has a better plan to win this fight without anyone going down, or without the whole team going down. Oh, Greg 3, this is where you want that dark matter back.
This is where you want the dark matter, absolutely.
But Joe has one, and I'm pretty sure he knows that he can instant kill.
Yeah, he knows.
How many Phoenix down? 7? Okay, that's enough for the final fight. And boom, Greg 3 is done. So, good job by Joe saving that dark matter for this fight, because this is a 50,000 hit point fight. And now Greg is done, and we have access to the final fight as soon as Greg stops talking. Oh, hour 17. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a test of Joe's knowledge. Certainly he knows how to mix. Question is, what other abilities are really important that he's going to want to put on? Is he going to remember to put those Aegis shields on because the mimics can actually hold them? Well, it looks like Aegis shield is maybe the only shields he has, so they're auto-equipping. That's handy.
And the other thing to kind of think about is Joe going to think to put item on at least one person, just in case of a death? Oh, but you've got white. You've got white.
Item. There's certain things that I'm not sure if we have the heal spell. No one should get turned to stone though, because we have Aegis shields. I mean, if you ran out of MP, which you shouldn't with mimics, but because we're sort of low level, our MP might actually run out on someone. Then it would be nice to have item to give them, mix them. No, you can do that with mixing though. Yeah. I don't think we really need item too much. We don't necessarily even need the fight command to knock anybody out of singing or anything like that. So we can just go all out on our abilities, and that is what Mimic brings to the table that no other job brings, is the ability to equip 3 abilities on each character, giving you a huge range of things available to you at the end. Oh, I guess lamp is what you would need item for, the magic lamp. You can mimic it, but you do need to use it as an item the first time.
All right, so it looks like Joe has got a pretty good setup going here.
Yes, did you happen to notice whether he put item on anyone, though?
Yes, he did put item on one person.
Oh, excellent. Yep, I think that's what I would do, too, even if I couldn't remember exactly why. It's nice to have it as sort of just a fallback safety sort of ability.
So we're going to have Alastair pull the Califisteri spot.
I was just thinking about whether Joe will do looting or not in the void. It would be nice to have maybe a pair of running shoes or something, but it's not really necessary. We can cast Ace 2 on everyone, I'm pretty sure. Other things that would be nice for this final fight, it's pretty unlikely that you would get like Break Sword in the final floor of the void, so yeah, maybe not even looting. We definitely don't have enough money to do Gil Toss. We don't have the Gil Toss ability.
Does Gil Toss actually use Gil if it's mimicked?
It does. Otherwise,
it does. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Mimic actually does. Can't make gold out of thin air for you, but it makes other things out of thin air for you. Lots of other things. Yeah, at this point, I don't think Joe is going to bother with any more looting. Might as well just go, go, go. Okay, one last chest. Faith blade, huh? Nice sword. Okay, Alastair taking on Callow. This is just a little bit of a slow fight.
All right, and we do have Judge Joe pulling the tree form of X-Death, while Alastair should be almost done with Caliphisteri here.
Now, this is going to take a little bit of time to do the setup and a little bit of time to do the kill, so I don't think that Joe is going to, like, set the record for fastest ever in any tournament, but he could very well do fastest in this particular tournament right here. Fastest clear time. And if for some reason Joe slips up in this fight, I think that does open the door for Alastair, as long as Alastair can get through these last few fights fairly easily, and should get through them fairly easily. Because this final fight does take so long, if you were to die during it, if you were to die deep into the fight, like in the Ned phase, that's quite a bit of time lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably a good 5 minutes or more. Okay, so Alastair has defeated Callow quite easily, it seems. And I think Crayclaw might be the one that is next. No. Something else first.
Okay, thinking.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, Atmos, thank you.
Yeah,
from chat.
I mean, when a seed happens this quickly, it's a lot harder to remember things. Because everything happens all at once.
It's gone by so fast. It's quite amazing, really.
I think we have Joe just about done with his setup here.
Buying all those Dragon Fangs was expensive, but it basically makes your mixing happen almost twice as fast. You're getting Dragon Powers out, which is 20 levels at a time, instead of relying on Samson Powers, which is only 10 levels at a time. Joe trying to get the slow to hit on the tree. It should hit. It's not that hard to get it to hit, even at base level. There it goes. Finishing up with the last of the Dragon Powers. Oh, I think it's actually time to start doing damage. As soon as the tree takes another turn, Joe will act and is now going to get a bunch of turns in a row before the tree can do anything. Mimicking double fire threes. That's pretty nice damage.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, really, that's more, because Giltos can only do 99.99 per turn. So this really is more damage than a Giltos can do.
Yeah, the only way that Giltos beats it out is just how quick the animation is. We have to wait for these Fire 3 animations to play out. That's really the only thing that makes it slower at all. And I would expect Joe to do the same thing to the Almagest part of Ned, but depending on... It looks like Gallup's going to get his turn first, and we'll be able to use the lamp, so probably we should lamp 3 times at the very start, and then focus the Almagest part, and it should... Joe's got a really nice setup to finish things off quickly.
And it looks like we have Alastair getting set up for the post-Atmos fight, which we know to be the Crayclaw.
Yes. Question is whether Alastair will try and go for the instant kill or not. I don't know how many dark matters our racers have, but I expect they only have one at this point. So
He
we
does have
know
the
that
slash
Greg
ability.
3. Yeah, Crayclaw's heavy though,
That's true.
so you can't slash it. You can use Doom with the spell, which we do not have. You can use Petrify, but we don't have any way to do that.
There's
So
Leviathan for Alastair.
nice find. That was the little side headroom. Yeah, you could use that. You could use that in the final fight. That's even better than Fire 3 because you can boost it and AoE it and then X Magic it and Mimic it. Okay, X Fight, another beast enemy. Good way to do damage there.
So it looks like we're getting about 5,500-ish damage to each part per mimic.
Yeah, this is perfectly safe to do the fight this way because Joe has Big Guard and he's not worried about Almagest. Like, not sure if we'll see Almagest or not, but if we do, it only does a little less than 800 damage. And so, yes, we might need to heal a little bit. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see an Almagest. So we do need to heal with Cure 3, but we can go back to just doing this AoE Fire 3, and that will eventually just take care of everything by itself. Or if Joe wants to go extra spicy, he can choose not to heal, and then he's got Phoenix available, which is a full revive. He's got Resurrection Mix available, which is a full revive. So even if a couple people go down, things are not dire for Joe.
No, not at all. Now, Joe is pretty comfortable here unless something completely unforeseen and stupid happens. He's pretty comfortable here.
If for some reason you were to kill 3 parts and then get double turned by the back part and everybody was at low health, you could potentially die, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we're going to get hit by Almagest and then Joe will take a little bit of time to recover from that, and then once we get going with damage again, it's basically over. I think 1 part died there. We may not see an Almagest. We only need to do about 5,000 more damage. This might set up the back being alone. I think the back is the only part left. And Joe's getting a turn there too, so I think this is going to be it. Get your GGs ready. There it is.
Wow, a sub 90. Oh my goodness. Judgejoe has finished in first place in this seed with a astounding time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 13 seconds. Well played, and GG to Judgejoe, who move on to play Fiery Blizzard in the grand final.
I'm very impressed. Joe went fast. Joe also had a really great final fight, which was, I think, the reason that he lost to Alastair before was he had trouble finishing doing the final fight, as Alastair does a nice instant death kill on Greg 3 there. This time, Joe definitely knew what he was doing, had a really good plan, and had the tools to execute a plan. And sub 130 is something we don't see too often around here. I think it was only seen once before in the I spell zap in the last full slightly different flag set, but full game seeds that we were doing in a tournament last spring or so, or whenever it was. Just really, really impressive. And by the way, Alastair not far behind. I mean, this is a jet seed, and
Yeah.
Alastair could finish up within probably the next 7 or 8 minutes if they so desire. Now, in terms of interview, I believe that Speed Gaming is the one who sends the invite. Oh, I heard a beep. Let's see. Well, that was just you, Z-Man, who went in and out there. You don't have the ability to send a link to join us, do you, Z-Man?
Maybe. Let me check.
I
Wait.
do not.
Wait, I know how. Hold on.
Okay, cool. So we'll be talking with Joe shortly. I assume he would wants to give us his thoughts on the race.
Yeah, I forgot to tell Speed Gaming that Joe finished. So Joe never got the link. So he should get the link now.
I do see him in the waiting room. So in just a moment, he should be when he's ready.
I got it.
I expect he will join us. Very good. Thank you.
And there we go. We are joined in the commentary booth by tonight's winner, Judgejoe. Holy cow, that was fast.
I was nervous the entire void.
Yeah, it's a little scary when you just don't have that many hit points, right?
600 on my squishy characters at the start.
Yeah, that pushover Chimera Brain wasn't such a pushover in the void when your team was so squishy.
That was almost all my mistake. Yes, he beat me up, but that was because I forgot I had a dark matter in my inventory.
Yeah, those
I had
dark
mix.
matters were really, really nice to have, and you used them very well, at least on the second try.
Yeah, but that felt like a big 5-minute mistake that really hurt, and I was pretty nervous after that. Even though I was a jet, and it's not necessarily the case that Alastair gets that fourth and final tablet. There's still two thoughts. Either I go and attempt Mirage Village, Fading Exdeath Castle, looking for hints, or the fact that I have no key items, I do at least the easier fights in Exdeath Castle that a panda, kind of a no-go at that point. Gave it a little shot, saw it beating me up, and said, let's try this next fight, which turned out to be both easy and the final tablet for go mode.
Yeah, it was really quite amazing. The two of you did a lot of the same things. You both died to Chimera Brain in the void, so you didn't really lose time there because Alastair had trouble as well. You both noped out of the Apanda fight because Apanda's really rude in that spot with low hit points, and then you both just did the other remaining check. I think you did them in reverse order, but other than that, it was like, hey, I've got an Excalibur, I've got a Dancer who dances half the time, I can beat Exdeath. And so, yeah, you both cleared the castle and then went straight to Mirage Village and bought amazing things for the end of the game.
Yeah.
Z-Man, right? If Z-Man has any questions, I don't want to hog the mic here.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just about to say that Alastair's going into the Exdeath fight here with a little bit of a different approach than Judgejoe is. It doesn't look like he has blue on anybody, so he's not going to be able to cast Big Guard here. And I don't think he doesn't have any Dragon Fangs, and I don't think that he is leveling his party up as much, so I think he's going to go with the boosted Leviathan strats here, I think.
I think that'll work. Joe, I was concerned that you were going to get hit by an Almagest, but you squeaked through just in time.
Yes.
And Alastair, definitely with Alastair's setup, they want to avoid getting hit with Almagest as well, because it'll actually wipe Alastair's entire party without Big Guard up. Joe, you were in decent shape anyways. You had a couple people who could have survived it. Everybody has an Aegis shield with chance to block it, and you could have recovered in a variety of ways. So, no real major concern there. Nice strategy and setup for the final fight, by the way.
Yeah, when I was in Mirage Village, one of my earlier mistakes was I messed up my menuing after the Golem fight and never had a Golem Orb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so no Golem hurts. but
We were wondering about that.
I looked in my inventory at some point, never did find that golem, but so that was unfortunate. But I saw the Aegis shields. I knew I had mix and variety of different shenanigans. I also I didn't know about the mimic, but I also knew about ribbons. So my goal was, and I did have, again, I actually did have the supplies to mix up the proper things to survive this time if that wasn't needed. I bought some shields. My money was so low it was pretty much never going to end up with a guild toss even if I found it. With black magic, I'd have figured something else out. And so I just sort of put on big guard to help keep my party safe, made sure I had haste, and just got my party set. Dragon Fangs rock and make it a lot faster.
Yeah, that was a really smart buy, spending that money on Dragon Fangs. And yeah, this seed was so jet that if you were going to shop Mirage, you weren't going to do Guild Toss at the end, but you had a good setup. Speaking of some menu or glitches or something, do you know where that Excalibur came from? We think it was actually glitched.
What?
The
Okay.
tool chest.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that?
So Fiery apparently,
We don't know.
yeah. So Fiery was in chat and checking it out. So apparently, when this particular version first came out, there was a bug where if you got a key item in the tool chest, there was a chance that a tier 9 item or tier 8 item couldn't come with it. And apparently, since you had the adamantite in the tool chest, that Excalibur came with the adamantite.
Well, I mean, you do make the Excalibur out of adamantite, don't you?
Very true.
That's so
We just
that
did a
never
really
did.
quick invisible forge.
I was confused when I saw an X-Cow with equipped. I just grabbed equipped swords and then looked, and all of a sudden I had an X-Cow, and I'm like, I just assumed it was in chest that I just didn't read right or didn't see. So
Well, that's what we assumed, but people in chat were like, nobody saw it at all, like no one. And so that's our guess as to what happened.
Does that explain why I get these random Ragnaroks sometimes that I have no clue about too?
Yep.
Probably
And when
so,
I was,
yeah.
as I kind of said in during the race, I would get assassin's daggers sometimes in practice. And I'm like, okay, I guess I found it somewhere.
Yeah.
But really nice, helpful thing, and it happened to both of you. It's not like it was a bug that only happens to one person. So you both had it. There was no advantage to any one person or the other. So maybe we'll get that cleaned up. Or I feel like it's something that has sort of come and gone in different versions of the randomizer. So it's one of those things that stubbornly keeps popping up, I guess. And so I don't know if we may or may not see it again, but. Me also, and I don't have any idea what happened to Golem, because you won the fight, the item because Golem didn't die, right?
I assume what happened was I accidentally hit the B button and went to the top menu and hit exit, never grabbing the item.
I don't think that's. I don't. Oh, maybe it is possible to deny the item. Right? I'm not sure if you can deny the item or not, but maybe you can.
Immediately after that fight, and when I was like, wait, shoot, did I accidentally hit exit instead of grabbing the and assumed I didn't have Golem, and then later when I looked for it to use it, was correct that I did not have it.
Oh, okay. So you can choose not to take it, which is something that just doesn't really happen much in this game because there's infinite inventory and such. But if you happen to be pressing your D-pad or something at the time, that can do it. I heard a ding. Does that mean Alastair has joined us? GG's to you.
Yep,
GG's, Alastair.
God, that was a seed.
Oh, that was insane, that how quick that seed was.
The way you both just turned in the two fastest times on this flag set in the entire tournament. I don't think anybody else has a sub 140. Of course, Joe got a sub 130, but I mean, both of you got this jet seed and ran with it.
Yep. I was honestly not prepared for a crazy jet seed.
I mean, is anybody ever prepared for that big of a jet seed?
Just like, ooh, let's go here. A tablet. Let's go to this one. Oh, cool, a tablet. Let's go to this meteor because levels. Another tablet.
Yep.
Let's go here. Wait, that's a third tablet. And this is. I got 3 tablets and had checked like 3 or 4 hints max by this point. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, you both. Joe did get those first 3 World 1 tablets a little faster, but then you both sort of had to do the same checks to open up Exodus Castle, and so that did sort of even things out. But Joe was just a little faster. Z-Man, do you recall what the strategy was that ended up being a little bit faster? Maybe what was taken from Kuza?
If I remember, so Joe took Summon 5, Black 5, and Ragnarok. And then Alastair took took the Flare ability, Black 6, and X-Fight.
Yeah.
So I think Joe's doing Sword Dance with an Excalibur and a Ragnarok. I think was doing a little bit more damage because Judgejoe couldn't miss a Sword Dance early. Like, could not miss.
Yeah.
That
all
early
the early
sword
dances
dance.
were sword dances.
Yeah.
And then the later ones were not. Like, as I'm there with my chicken enough, I'm like, sword stance? Sword stance? Sword stance, please?
Yeah, you definitely got the early ones, though, and those were one-shotting the bosses. Alastair, we were mentioning a little earlier when we were talking with Joe, a lot of the same things happened to you. You both had to hope out of the Apanda fight. I believe that you had already gotten the last tablet, so you didn't care too much about actually defeating Apanda, but Joe did them in reverse order, then checked the other spot and was like, oh, well, there's my go mode, so I won't. So both of you were like, well, not going to bother with Apanda. You both died to Mirror Brain in the Void because that first check, you didn't have the right setup for it, basically. Yeah. And you
I was just hoping to get a little bit of EXP from Apanda.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because you did actually die to Castle X-Death just because the team was squishy.
Yeah.
Got a little bit unlucky. Joe managed to get through again, I think, on the back of Sword Dance Excaliburs.
Yeah, actually, that would definitely shred him. I had completely forgotten about Dance, even I marked it on my shops list.
You made some really good plays with your Hunter and Artemis bow. There was a lot of beast bosses that you were X-fighting with the Artemis bow, doing good damage that way. But the sword dances just coming up every time for Joe.
A dancer, finding dancer, because I had White Mage and Dancer up until about Mirage Village. So finding the dancer in the ship graveyard was the best thing I could have found. I had equipped swords, I had a pair of rainbow dresses, and I ended up with 2 big swords, so really helped out. Nice X-Cow we found somewhere or other.
I'm wondering if because I've been noticing random holy swords popping into my inventory in seeds. I'm wondering if it's a weird thing with the monster in a box flags where even if you get a key item, you still randomly get an item.
It's specifically in the tool chest.
Okay.
Fiery said apparently that was a thing early, but they thought they took care of it. Oops, I guess they didn't. So that's. Oh, and Fiery saying it's not specifically in tool. So.
Oh, it could be anywhere. Maybe. Give the monster in a box checks potentially. I don't know. I mean, I definitely remember it from the past, but again, I thought it was fixed, and now it has appeared again. So it's hard to say exactly what's going on. We have had some strange things happen in the randomizer that Clear Tonic has done a great job of actually figuring out, like really weird situations where a bunch of random garbage is called and can change enemy behaviors and give you items and things. So I mean, this is something to work on before the next tournament for sure.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about a free Excalibur.
Oh, very much not.
That's the thing. I mean, it happened to both of you. It wasn't like it was a weird thing that only one of you was able to take advantage of. So you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this Equip Swords ability, and all of a sudden you see this Excalibur in your inventory, and I was like, I don't know where they got that Excalibur, and Z-Man didn't know, and no one in chat knew either.
Yeah, because like I saw it when I was like looking for stuff to sell. I was like, where did this come from?
It was a surprising but very helpful thing, and it just sort of contributed to the jettiness of this seed, basically giving you everything that you needed to not need to slow down. The Mimic Crystal being available in the Void, really helpful for the final fight. Aegis Shields available in the shops. Obviously, you know, Mirage is amazing shopping, always. And the Mix ability was in Mirage, and just enough Dark Matters to instant kill what could have been some slow bosses in the Void. Just, yeah, really nicely done by both of you. Joe just was a little bit faster today, but like I said, the two of you just turned in the two fastest times we have seen in this flag set, in official tournament play at least. And I guess you could say that I don't think there was any animosity between you two, but Joe did get some revenge because Alastair, you were the one that bumped him down into the lower bracket, and now Joe is the champion of the lower bracket. We'll go on to face Fiery Blizzard in the grand finals. I assume that's going to be next week.
I think
at least the first game, Fiery would have to be beaten twice to be eliminated, because this is a double elimination tournament and would only need to win once to actually win the finals. So Alastair, you've had a great run. I'm sorry to see you go. I think you went out on and that was really fun and really impressive. You should be, you know, reasonably happy, I would say, at this point.
Yeah, and I get to relax now.
Jet seeds are stressful, especially if you're actually racing them. But both of you kept cool and didn't really run into anything that you couldn't handle, at least not on maybe a quick reset and second attempt.
Yeah. This was my second jet seed of the tournament, where I end up at Neo X Death at about 120. Except for the differences, this time I had power. I had Mix. I had Mimic. The other time I had a Ninja and Magic Song and Speed Song. And I said nope. And
I wonder what seed you're referring to.
Was that the seed that you two raced before?
I do believe that is the seed Judgejoe knocked me out on.
Oh, Z-Man. Okay.
Yeah, Z-Man.
Okay, I thought that maybe these two, when they get together, tend to roll jet seeds, but I see it was the Z-Man seed. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't think our last seed was quite that fast. It was reasonably speedy, but not nearly that fast.
Yeah, I think it was like a 220, maybe just a low 2, but it was pretty fast. But yeah, another tough X-Death fight for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alastair said, and I interviewed you from your last win, that it went down to the final fight between you and Joe before, and you had the experience to pull it out. In terms of, you know, just had done more Ned fights.
Yeah.
But Joe has been getting better and better this tournament. Being sort of a new player, his learning curve is steeper than the rest of us, and has definitely shored up his knowledge in terms of how to win final fight. And so this time, Joe was ready and had options and was able to get through first try. We do not have, of course, a schedule, but keep your eyes peeled. Sometime next week, we're going to have the grand finals, game 1, maybe game only one of one. We'll see. But congratulations to both of you. Is there anything else we need to say, Z-Man, before we're out of here?
No, I don't think so. Just thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us here, and probably see you at some point next week for the grand finals. Fiery Blizzard versus Judgejoe should be a fantastic race, or two. We shall see.
Yep, and thanks for commentating.
Definitely, it'll be a fun one to watch and see your shock as tablets just appear out of nowhere.
Right. Well, thanks again to Speed Gaming for hosting us, and we hope to see you all next week. Bye now.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think with that, we're just going to say, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week.